Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to really talk about the heart of Dungeons and Dragons, which I feel like I've discovered through 1 hour Dungeons and Dragons Lego, 1 hour Lego Dungeons and Dragons. So I run 1 hour Lego Dungeons and Dragons, and right now I'm running it in an FLGS, which I'm really proud of, and I'm really excited about. It's bringing a lot of joy to my life each week. I get to continue to build out this visual language for Dungeons and Dragons with Legos, and it's really it's a joy, right? So each Thursday I'm at this FLGS and I'm running this very fast-paced Dungeons and Dragons, right? And so I have been now actually my Thursday game I actually take a 2-hour block, right? But I am running a Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen 1 hour campaign, and I run 1 hour Dungeons and Dragons at multiple conventions every year, right? And so I'm always crafting this 1 hour Dungeons and Dragons. And 1 hour Dungeons and Dragons, people are like, wait, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm running an entire adventure. You are going to create your character, have an entire adventure, and at the end of the adventure, your character will likely have leveled, gone from level 1 to level 2. Will have experienced an entire adventure, made shocking decisions, and had a combat, and had interactions, and explored somewhere, right? All of that's going to happen in 1 hour. And when you make that promise, right, you got to deliver, right? And the way that I've found that I can do this is one, strip out all the, fully embrace page 4 of the Dungeon Master Guide. The rules aren't in charge, you're in charge. We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, but we're going to strip out everything that's extraneous. And what really has shocked me as I've gone down this road and I've mastered this 1 hour Dungeons and Dragons is this really just this powerful, wonderful, delightful thing where what is the most important decision you make for your character, right? For your player character. What is the most important decision a player makes to build their player character? And I can tell you right now, right? It is class, right? And the way I do this right now is with my 1 hour Dungeons and Dragons with Legos, I literally put down minifigs where actually anybody who even remotely knows Dungeons and Dragons can see every single class visually represented, and they could just say, oh yeah, I'm going to be a fighter. Oh, I'm gonna be a cleric, and they literally, and that choice is there's not. Oh, I put them out and said, this is every class. What do you want to be? And there's not a word written on a sheet. There's not a word said. They simply choose. They pick up the minifig that is their class. They make the choice physically. There's not a word written. There's not a word said. Right? It's literally just them choosing their class. Once they get that class, right, I give them a +1 in every physical or a +1 in every mental, based on that class, right? So a fighter's going to get +2 in every physical attribute. They're going to get a +1 in every mental attribute, right? And that class immediately tells me every single skill they're proficient with, which is every single skill that class gets that they could choose as a proficiency. They're immediately proficient in it, right? And then every single piece of every single thing that class can do, they have access to immediately. They have full access with full consequence. They could either do it for free if it actually aligns with their real level. They could do it for the chance to fall unconscious if it's 5 levels above what they can do right now. Or they could do anything all the way up to level 20, but if they fail at it, right, if I call a check and they roll a natural 1, they die. It's full access with full consequences. And you are that class. Everything that class can do happens immediately, right? And I'll tell you right now, so that right there, you choose your class, we're ready to rock. You are literally running. And I did this last Thursday. We had one of my players, right? God love him, right? He is my iron player, right? He said, hey, you're not doing anything tonight. You're just going to be running a couple of commander, matches. Why don't you play D&D with us? He came over, he chose his class, and he was up and running literally in 3 minutes, right? And he was able to make every roll in a game. And then his revelations are then still available. He's going to reveal right? His species. He's going to reveal his name. He's going to reveal his background, right? These are additional revelations about the character, but the character sheet is done. You choose your class and you're ready to play in Dungeons and Dragons. And he, like, this player chose a fighter, right? And and you're the dark cloaked fighter. We don't know what your species is. We don't know what your name is, right? We don't know what your background is, and we don't need to. You're able to assist the team immediately, right? And you don't need to worry, and you don't need to and you don't end up with Bob the fighter, because the person isn't pressured to come up with this huge decision immediately, right? There's 35 choices for species, and there's like literally 20-30 different backgrounds, and we're telling people, listen, tax form. The character sheet is a jail in Dungeons and Dragons, and I have escaped it, right? And what I realized is all I need that player to do is choose their class, and we are running, right? And this incredible speed, right? This, you have literally written nothing. You have said not a single, the player has not said a word, not written anything on any sheet, and they're ready to play Dungeons and Dragons in an exciting manner. Matches exactly what people actually expect Dungeons and Dragons to be, rather than what people are doing right now. Is like, oh, you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? Here's a tax form. It's 3 pages long. Let's spend 45 minutes filling out, bubbling in this white piece of paper that you really, truly cannot distinguish from a tax form. Character sheet is a jail, right? If you want Dungeons and Dragons to pop, destroy the character sheet and represent it physically on the table, right? And give them access to everything immediately. Full access to their class with full consequences, right? Less writing, more decisions, more doing, more awesome, more speed. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.